Okay, so I decided to color in Space by Hanna Karlzon. I'm going to do this double page spread, and I'm using the Faber-Castell coloring pencils. I think these are meant for kids, but they're so pretty I had to get them. So I'll put a link for them in the video. And then I'm using those pencils, and I'm using a few Jelly Roll pens, maybe this Signo, maybe this brown King Art, and then I have 2 permanent markers, blue and black. I have a purple lavender-ish Wink of, what is it called? Wink of Luna. I love this thing. I've not used it very much. And then, this white Jelly Roll, and then some fine liners. That's what my plan is. Let's see if I can do it and make it look good with just these supplies. So, I'm also watching YouTube in the background. Right now I have, who's this that's on? Coloring Bumblebee, I think. So tonight I'm just hanging out and coloring. I'm still a little sick. I've been sick for about a week now. Feels like everybody's getting that back to school sickness that everybody gets when their kids bring it home. And I don't have any kids, so I must have got it somewhere else. But so what do you guys do whenever you color? Do you watch TV or read? Actually, that's a good idea. I might turn on my audiobook because I get lost in coloring. I can't watch TV while I'm doing it. I just miss too much. Like right now, I'm not even paying attention to this video, which I want to watch, so I should wait and watch it later. So I wonder if I can do that on the computer. I gotta go to Audible's website, I bet. Do you guys listen to audiobooks at all or read? I read mostly on Kindle because my wrist hurts quite a bit. I've broken it, the same wrist that I'm coloring with, about 4 or 5 times. I can't even remember now. I think 5. And I've had 2 surgeries on it, I think. Yeah, 2. And so I don't read books that you have to hold because they really wear on my wrists, like my thumb in that position to hold the pages open. It just hurts after a while. So and I try a book bone and all those things, and they work, but not like I like to read laying down is the other thing, and so then it ends up just flopping forward anyways on me. And I travel a lot right now, so I like to do audiobooks because then I can listen to them while I'm driving and not feel like I'm losing an hour of my time every time I get in the car. Oh, there's an ant Or, no, it's a little gnat bug on my desk. I just had the windows open because it was getting warm in here, and it was a nice late summer breeze, so I had the windows open to get some breeze in here. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find Audible and put that on my computer while I'm coloring. Do you guys start with the main objects or the background in your coloring pages, or does it depend? I like to, I guess it depends for me. I like to start with the background because then you can really see the foreground. But I don't know. I guess on this one I just decided I like since they're so obvious, I decided to do the foreground on this one. Let's see. The book I'm reading right now is actually really good. I've had it in my I don't know, what do you call it? My library on my phone for a really long time. It was like not everybody. I guess it got really good reviews, and it was, I think it got some awards too. Maybe New York Times bestseller or something like that. I don't know. But I just couldn't get it started for some reason. I don't know, the subject matter right off the bat. I guess maybe the conversations that they were having right off the bat kind of was like, ugh. And I kind of just kept putting it down. But then I was like, you know what? Somebody thinks this is really good, so I need to get further than the first 5 minutes, further than the first couple pages. There's another gnat. And try and see if this book is good. And so I finally did, and it is really good. It's called The Giver of Stars by Jojo Myers, I think is who wrote it. And I'll put this in the description as well, but it is really good. And I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give it away, other than it's about a woman that, you know, she got married young. This is back in the late 30s. She got married young, moved from England to Kentucky with her husband, and it's about her life so far. I would say I'm about a third of the way done, and it is very, very good. I would definitely recommend this book. And if that's something that anybody is interested in, I would love to read books and do book chats as I color, because that's one thing I do find really interesting. TV these days just cannot hold my attention very long. I mean, Game of Thrones, dragons. Oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of the the sequel. Or the prequel, I guess it was. House of Dragons. There we go. I knew there was more words than just dragons. You know, the Ring of Power, you know, those ones. All the epic tale, fantastical, fantasy, sci-fi kind of things usually do hold my attention, but regular old TV does not, regular sitcoms does not seem to hold my attention. They just don't anymore. And I don't know why that is. I mean, I know I've been out of the world for a while, but I mean, I haven't really been out for that long, I guess. I'm still trying to figure out how to hook this up while I'm coloring. And I'm making a video over here on this side, which I don't know what's happening, but it's taking forever, it seems. Select the library, select listen now or play. Okay. This is more difficult than I thought it was going to be to get this started. Chrome, Cloud Player. Actually, is there a Windows app for Audible? Audible app is disabled for Windows, discontinued. I guess there's a Windows app I have to download, so I will do that. So what else do we think needs to be this color? Maybe a couple of these rings over here. I want to try and make this page cohesive. I know the last one I did, the dimensions was just all over the place. And part of that had to do with the colors that were available to me in that marker set. I didn't have very many colors. I only had the ones that the lady that I bought from had. And she mostly did like portraits, and not full portraits either, just like faces. So it was not the easiest to find colors that would work for space scenes and face and flowers, and I guess I just kind of, and I'm not familiar with how alcohol markers work very much. Like that's the first time I've actually colored with alcohol markers. I guess the second time. I shouldn't say that's the first. I did one little cartoony page with a different set of markers I had. And it turned out okay. I did that one in Magnetopia. I think it's the name of the Magnetopia Mini Kawaii, I think is the name. That was kind of cute. It was like a little vending machine with stuffed animals, kawaii stuffed animals in it. With like, it was a kawaii animal vending machine too, so it was cute. I don't know that I would use those markers again. I think I'm done with those markers. I think I'm gonna get well, I already did. I already got some Ohuhus, and I actually bought some used Copics to try. So I'm gonna try that too. But I have not yet tried that. And I think it's time for those other markers to say goodbye, because there's another gnat. Those other markers are pretty worn out, and the nibs are all worn out and discolored, and so I think it's time for them to go. Hold on one second. Oh, I did that wrong. I thought I would do, you know, fantastical colors in this little cartoony planet spread, space spread. So how long ago was it that I downloaded that movie? Or that... Is there a search on here? I have this bright light on, of course, and it's attracting all the little gnats that came in. There it is. Jojo Moyes, The Giver of Stars is the name of it. Narrated by Julia Whalen, if you are interested in that type of thing. I would love to be in a book group, but I can't seem to find one in my area. I'm going to sharpen this pencil. Hold on a second. I have a little jar link I didn't get the half matte one because it was more expensive, and there was pretty good reviews on the Jar Link. So I got that, and I do really like it. The only problem is my Derwent pencils, and in the bigger barreled pencils, my polychromos even don't very well, the polys fit in there. The polychromos fit in there. The Albrechters watercolor pencils do not fit in there. So if you want one to have for those pencils, then you would need something different. I'm not doing a very good job of making these pencils look smooth, at least this color. I'm trying to be good and not press too hard and cause it to burnish the page. I really struggled with that with the Cretacolor markers. The Cretacolor pencils, Mega Colors. I don't know why, but they're so soft. If you want a soft pencil, those are soft. And I mean, I use Prismacolors most of the time coloring, and I think the Cretacolors are softer. But they have a huge lead, which I would rather them just give me a regular sized lead and make the barrel bigger, because it's really a waste of all that lead. I don't color like this to use all that lead on the side. It's kind of a waste. And you know, I always thought that. At first I was like, oh yeah, I mean, the bigger the lead the better, right? But I don't think that's true. I think I guess maybe for stability in making sure that the pencil doesn't break, you would want a bigger lead. That the lead doesn't break, you would want a bigger lead. But hold on one second. Library. I don't know what's happening. Oh, something over here. Don't know why. This is not doing anything. Yeah, like, I guess just for stability. But if you have a big pencil like that, like a really wide barrel, a thick barrel, you don't necessarily need a thicker lead than this, because you don't use it that way. I mean, if you're using it as an adult colorist, right, you're sharpening it to a point and not coloring with it as a nub. So I'm not sure why. If you guys know why that, I mean, why a bigger lead would be better in that instance, let me know, because I guess I just don't understand. I feel like it's a waste of pigment and a waste of money. But I like the bigger barrel. Sometimes it's like nostalgic. Go back to kindergarten and my dad, he was a truck driver, but he also did a lot of construction work, and he was a logger at one point as well, and he always had really thick pencils, like, you know, like the square ones that you have as a contractor to mark lines on wood and cuts and stuff for different materials and write on your plans, which, I mean, I don't know why they have a different size, maybe just so they can hold on to it better with their dirty, slippery hands. But hold on one second again. Sorry, I'm listening. This is difficult, and that is taking forever. I don't know what's happening with it and why. I don't know why my video is taking so long to upload. It's not that long. It says it's going to take 60 minutes. That seems wrong. I think something's wrong. But for now, I'm just going to let it sit and see what happens. Because it's late. I don't have the energy to figure out what's going on. Okay, open the Audible site and sign in. Select library from the site's navigation. Select listen now or play next to the title. Okay, that should be relatively easy, right? Home. Oh, is this just the help? Here we go. Home. Library. I'm searching again because it installed something on my computer, but listen now. There we go. Let's see if it plays. Okay.
Yes, he does. It's me. I told him where to put his $50.
So.
He's so mad he'll do anything to punish me. Alice, if you had
So what kind of pages are you guys doing for Space Timber?
Van Cleve's the kind of man can't bear to see a woman take any kind of place in the world. You can't go blaming yourself for a man like him.
You getting some pages done?
Shoved her hands deep into her pockets.
Do those of you that have kids get more pages done in the school year than when you're out? Or than when they're out of school? Seems like there's so many activities nowadays that kids are busy all the time. Summer, school year. So, I mean, yeah, you gotta drive them around and everything, but...
Miss O'Hare? Kathleen Bly appeared around the corner of the meeting hall, holding an oil lamp in front of her with one hand.
You know what I realized? I did not do any shading colors on that at all. I'm gonna have to do better. So let's try and use gray and maybe a light blue. A light blue and gray on the moon. I mean, those are not really shading colors, but... Or should we have a different color moon? Maybe, right? I don't know. I want to kind of make these gray these meteor rocks. Let's make the meteor rock gray and the moon a different color. I'm going to sharpen that. Okay. Okay. Let's hold 1 second. Okay. I mean, I don't have very many shading colors, I guess, so this page might not have very many. Very much depth and then contrast. So what are you guys' coloring art history? Hey there, Fredders. Hey there, Fred. My little Fred boy. What you up to, buddy? My little cutie. Cutie. Freddy's my little buddy. Hi, Fred. Fred. What are you doing, huh? You think I got treats? You think I got treats? I do. I do have treats, but it's late. It's late. I don't know if you should have any treats right now. I don't want your tummy to get upset. Fred is you might have seen his picture on, I think, one of the Instagram, maybe is where I put it. He's a little Maltese. He's a little puppy mill rescue. So sometimes he is very shy and afraid, but we're working on it. He's doing a lot better. We bonded over marshmallows. So, and he loves Lena, my service dog. She's right here laying on the floor, ignoring me. She ignores me until I need her, and then she's right there, reminding me I need to take my medicine, or when I went to school, she went with me, went to my classes with me. Do you guys prefer these slower color alongs? Because I am slow. Or would you prefer me to speed this up and then just do a voice track over it? Or music? Or like I said, we could do book reviews or something. I figured once I have a few subscribers, if there is interest, we can do live color alongs where we all practice a technique. You know, I can't teach. I'm not going to be a teacher at this point right now. I can't I can't teach, but we can all certainly practice together and tell each other, you know, what the things we think and how it's supposed to be. I'm going to try and shade this one side, see if I can get it to look like light is over here. And it's darker on this side. I am taking a colored pencil class from Amy Schultz. Schulke, I think. Amy Schulke at Vanilla Arts. She has some YouTube videos and things. I'm gonna eventually take a marker class from her as well, but the pencil one was offered first, and I need pencils too, so because I was just scribbling. I don't know how I got this far in life and not learned how to color other than just, you know. I mean, I guess when you have, you know, newspaper, less than newspaper quality coloring books as a kid, or copy paper with crayons, I think maybe in high school I had colored pencils for something, but I don't remember ever using them for much. I don't even think I bought any when I was in college. I think in college we had to do magazine murals for our project for visual arts, which not a mural necessarily, not a mural, a collage, which was fine. That project did not appeal to me at the time. But I remember my brother, which I will show you a picture of this on the screen, my brother thought that was like the coolest thing. And so I think our assignment was to take magazine pages, and it was like the easiest project ever. It was like make something, it was basically like make a dream board out of your magazine papers, I think. Like, I don't even think it had to be a collage. I think we just had to put the thing on the board and call it a day, you know, like there was no artistic anything to it. Well, my brother thought that was the coolest thing, trying to make something out of many magazine pages, and he ran with it and made this really awesome landscape of a desert. It was really cool. I mean, to this day, it's hanging in my mom's house and in her desert Americana room, you know. It was basically our den. It was like the sitting room upstairs. It was like the flow-through room to go downstairs. But it was also where, once in a while, not very often actually, where my friends and I would hang out after school or on the weekends and during the summer. If we were hanging out for some reason in the house and not going to do something, I feel like we always were out doing stuff. We were never... Well, we watched movies, but when we watched movies downstairs on the big TV. We just had a little old TV in that room. Do you guys have a preference of whether you like round barreled pencils versus square barreled versus triangular or the pentagonal? I guess is it I don't know how many sides are on one of those pencils. Octagonal maybe? 8 sides? I don't know. So I'm trying to make these a little darker, these rims. Although they probably should have been lighter because they're the furthest out. Where inside and deeper, it should be darker, right? I'm going the opposite, I guess. Funky space, funky space. I do like that pencil sharpener because it stops when the pencil is sharp. It doesn't eat your pencils. Where that one, it's an X-Acto School Pro. If I'm not careful, it'll eat my whole pencil before it tells me it's sharp. So I have to be really careful with that. And try and make this look like it's a slope. Can't tell if my phone's locked up or what. I mean, I guess I should assume it's not, because last time I thought it was locked up. Then whenever I watched the video back, it was not locked up, so. I think I got too dark there. Now how do I fix it? Should I try and erase it? Or just try and lighten. Go lighter down here. We'll try that. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Well, that kind of worked. We could make it like light is shooting out of these holes. And they're not just craters, they're like holes down to like the magma chamber in the asteroid. Or the meteor. I think we should try that. Try and make it like they're like light volcanoes. And definitely also, you guys, make sure you tell me if there's any artists that you want to see, books that you want to see, colored in. I'm going to do an inventory, sort of how Happy Catastrophe, Candace, Sister Minbao did on her channel, of all the books that I got. Because I bought a lot of used books, guys, like a lot. Whenever I start doing something, it's just who I am. I do it big, and I get everything, and I experiment with everything, and I try it all, you know. A lot like my grandma. Apparently she did that, my mom said. My grandma just recently passed away, but she used to do that. My mom said she used to just, anytime she was going to do something, she did it big, you know, and so I think I take after her in that respect. And I am very impulsive as well. Like, I do things on a whim. So, which can be good and bad for me. I think that's probably how I ended up being a software engineer, is on a whim. I think I changed my major like 5 times my freshman year of college. And I think when I graduated high school, I was going to school for marketing at the time. Originally, I was going to go to Youngstown State in Ohio, and then I changed to go to Clarion. My parents convinced me to go to Clarion University of Pennsylvania, which was only 30 minutes, 45 minutes from my house, so I could commute from there. Save some money, and I could still work. I worked at JCPenney's for 8 years. I started in 1998. And then I worked for 8 years, and I enjoyed that. There for a long time, I was like, I'm gonna just work at Penny's for the rest of my life. I would have, and I probably would have enjoyed it, but it was really hard on my back. Even then in high school, my back was bad. It was not good, and so and then after about a year, maybe even less, I started working in the jewelry department. So I worked in the jewelry department at JCPenney's for years. And for 8 years, well, basically 7 years. And I had just left when they started redoing everything, remodeling into this white and red palette that they have now, color scheme. When I was there, it was still the brown, the JCPenney copper carpet, brown carpet. But I think I loved working in the jewelry department. I had a lot of fun. The only thing I did not like is putting all the jewelry away in the safe at the end of the night. Now, I gotta turn my book. I'm starting to screw this up a little bit. I hope you guys are still in the video. I can't tell. Maybe I'll pause this so I can tell. Hold on. Okay, so you can see. But I am like way down in the corner. Now I moved it another way that I couldn't do it very well. I'm like barely touching the paper right now. Barely. I wonder if I should make this like a whole mountain, like down to here. Or to here. You think? Or should I stop at that ridge and make this a ridge like this? That looks like an angry frog right there. Her name's Dinner. Angry frog. One of my roommates, at one point, she went rattlesnake hunting, and she ended up picking up a bullfrog, big bullfrog. And at the time, she didn't know that here in Colorado, they are considered invasive species. So you're not allowed to put them back. But you're also not allowed to like pick them up and take them home either. So she didn't know what to do with it. So she just brought it home. And I'm like, well, okay, fine. So then we ended up having a frog in the terrarium thing for a really long time. But it was like she was very unhappy because her terrarium wasn't tall enough. I mean, her legs were almost a foot long. And her little terrarium thing was not tall. So I always felt so bad for her because she couldn't jump in that thing at all. And you'd hear her, she'd try to jump and bump her head. It was bad. I felt bad. But we named her Dinner because she had chunky thighs. Which I know is probably mean, but I mean, she's a frog. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am, well, I know that's not what I meant at all to say. That doesn't make any sense with what I was going to say. I am trying to be mostly vegetarian. I'm pretty much pescatarian right now. But I would prefer to be vegetarian. But I struggle with getting the right amount of protein, so I definitely need to work on that more before I can do it successfully and not be in danger with my health. So you guys see this? I mean, if you had asked me 5 years ago if I'd ever be a vegetarian, I would have been like, no. No freaking way. But I just don't enjoy meat anymore, and it's not satisfying for me. I mean, I can enjoy a good steak, don't get me wrong. But I just, most of the time, meat doesn't satisfy me. It makes me feel gross. How's that looking? I think I will make this so it... You trying to get in there, Lena? I think Elroy's underneath there. Under my desk is prime napping space, you know. I need to remember when I'm coloring to hold my head straight. I keep doing that, and then wonder if I should color this like it's a little frog and see if anybody notices. I like it. Look, he's like, there's his two eyes, there's his back, the haunch of his leg, and his little face. I might do that after I color it right and take a picture, and then I'll color him like a frog. Over top. How's that look? I think I will make these like lights coming out of them, but I gotta figure out how to do that first, so. And I guess since I went in full force with the darkest colors I had on these, actually I didn't. That one's darker. But I don't know if it'll work because it's kind of like the bottom one is more purpley. Let's see if we can get some depth on this guy, and then we'll call it a night and come back to it later. If we can get some good depth on this guy, that'll make me feel better. Like I didn't screw the page up completely. And so what I've been learning is you're supposed to not color. Let me see, where'd my sticky notes go? Right there. You're supposed to not color like this. You're supposed to do like this scrumbly camo pattern, which I'm not good at either one. I end up just doing whatever my hand wants me to do, which is usually like ovals or something. I used to do, you know, the straight line scribbles though, for sure. I think what I'm trying to do is just make the areas where the dots are at deeper, or like darker pattern, like so they're either a deeper fluid or a valley or something. Although this looks like it should be the rock, right? This paper is pretty smooth. I mean, it's got more tooth than some stuff, but this definitely doesn't want to take very many layers. Are all of her books like that? Like this paper? This is the first one I've done of hers. I have a bookmark page in Daydreams, I think it is. Is that one of her books? Daydreams? But I haven't started it yet. And then like on pages like this where you have really thick line art, do you guys cover the line art? Or do you just let it be? I had never even thought of covering the line art until I watched Candace on Happy Catastrophe one time talking about how she covers the line art all the time. I guess I just never, didn't occur to me to do that. And then with what? Because I have noticed that you can't use gel pens over colored pencil. So if I'm going to use gel pens on here, it's going to be on something that I haven't colored. Or I have to put acrylic down first and the gel pen on top. But obviously acrylic is not in my little stash here, so I won't be doing that in this 2-page set. I wonder if this color, so the green, there's only 2 greens in this set, and this is the one I used and this is the other one. I wonder if I just add gray and then do some green on top, if I can give it some depth. Is that the gray one? Yeah. See, then like on here, like, should I do it at the edges? And go in? And then, like, what about right here? I feel like I shouldn't, if I'm doing the edges, I should not do along the crest. I mean, I guess I made it a little darker. Maybe it'll make it even darker, more dark with the Mrs. Mitchell would be so embarrassed. My 8th grade English teacher. She thought my poem was good, or something I wrote. I remember that. Everyone was, well, I don't know if everyone was scared of her. I was. That's still on the screen? Yeah, okay. Well, that might have helped some. It's really like darken it up and give it some oomph. Is that a word? Oomph. Is that a word we can use? Yeah, back whenever I was in 8th grade, ain't was still not in the in the dictionary. It was not a word we were allowed to use. Are we allowed to use it now? It's part of general language, or is it Urban Dictionary? I don't even know. I just wonder, like, the first person that ever said that, and everybody going, "What did you just say?" What was that? Am I covering the whole thing up by doing that? I'm really trying not to. I need a person here to tell me to color straight or color a different direction whenever I need to change directions. So my hand is out of the way. I feel like it's kind of burnishing it, which makes me mad. But so far that's not too bad. Oh, did I get green off the side? There's my little eraser. Here it is. If we can get it off. Well, not really, but it's okay. Well, I mean, I like this one. This one's okay, which we can still work on the clouds and stuff, but we'll do that on the next set. But for now, oops, I'm dropping everything. This is what we colored. Doesn't look too bad. And for using no contrast colors into this one to begin with, I think we did pretty good. So, all right, well, thanks for hanging out with me and chatting with me, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share with anyone else that you think would enjoy the channel. And of course, please tell me what all you want to talk about, what books you want to color, or what books you want to read and talk about. But thank you. Love you.